intentional
Can
dark
you put
people
the update in the
that
chat
have been
down,
doing
Julio?
things all the way back to the founding of Fox News and like the precursors to Citizens United in the 1800s. Like this has been a long game some people are playing. And then there's some idiots that they count on being in the front, running headfirst into it. So I get it. It's kind of weird to analyze, but it's not unpredictable.
That makes sense. Thank you, my friend.
And I think there's some people who want to get out and who want the cushy life and who see that it's going to be messy and that the populace is going to get upset. And so they want to build their utopia away from America before it gets messy.
So the thing about any dictator or like any strong person who's not doing it for if they're just doing it for power, which I think most of these people are, is that their utopia for them inherently would be a dystopia for most people in the end. Because they need to have complete power, complete control, complete adulation, completely ubiquitous in all of society. And that's where it gets, everybody has to suffer so that they can have everything. So if they have everything, how can you have anything? And that's in the end what happens. And everything you have is a gift. I mean, that's why, like, I was surprised nobody brought I think somebody might have said earlier, but the techno-feudalist idea, right? The idea of feudalism was enclosure. That before, like, you had the land, you worked on it, you owned it. And all of a sudden it changes to, okay, the land you live on, I own that. It's a gift from me that you get to live there. And your existence, I own that. And the military, I own that. The food you have, I own that. And I can take whatever you want, and your existence is just a gift from me. And that's what these people are aiming for, that everything we have, like that's why we don't own products and stuff anymore, and everything's becoming a service. Everything you have is a gift that you have to pay for and can be taken from you. And I think that's one of their long-term dreams, is that, you know, there's so many ways this can be implemented, our modern society has, but it can get worse. And I think these people have to make it worse so that how can you ever fight against the person that has everything?
And you notice Trump is using the language even yesterday as he imposed the pain. He says, and I'm being kind, I'm being nice. He's trying to condition us. He says, as he does the tariff, he says, look, I'm a kind. He says, they're very mean. They do 50%, but I'm kind. So he wants to be the one who makes the problem, and then I give the solution. But I'm kind. And he keeps doing that over and over again, and people fall for it. Then they come in here and they will parrot that very same thing. Watch, Manfinity will come in here and say, Trump is kind. He only did 50% tariffs. Watch. He'll do that tonight.
Excuse me, but this is Manfinity, and I'm being kind to the room. Do not interrupt.
And then kind of fix them and get like a cheering crowd. Like, look what he did with TikTok.
Kidding, oh, yeah.
He was like the catalyst for destroying
I didn't
TikTok.
unmute it. I'm trying to wonder, should I ruin the account, or should I go in there and troll them? Yeah, troll them.
I just made TikTok, so that he's
what should we say?
Self-centered, so immoral. This is one of his main playbooks. He really fucks it up. He breaks things and then half fixes it, and then gets a cheering crowd of idiots.
Listen, the tariffs are good. It's a positive thing. It's an equilibration. It's harmony.
One of the things that's most dangerous is the fervent crowd and how brainwashed they are.
I unmiked and I was not unmiked. And now I'm raising my hand. I hope they let me bring up the brainwash. Let me bring the brainwash.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this is mafia tactics, you know, it's sort of protection rackets. And, you know, also, like, I used to live in a neighborhood that had a lot of mafia activity, and it was safe, right? Like, one of the things that they do is that they make sure that there isn't any trouble. People, you know, don't pay a lot of attention. They kind of understand, if I just don't get involved, just sort of turn the other way when I see stuff, then, you know, they operate. I get to live in security. You know, we're all happy.
Yeah.
And a lot of this is that. The problem is that, like, I can't hear you.
Yeah, what do you want to talk about?
Yeah, anything you want to talk about, man.
money even for the mafia. And so we're basically in like the same sort of spiral that, I feel like mafiosos had, where it goes, oh, as it turns out, if we're constantly running protection rackets, these companies don't do as well. There's not as much money in the community, and then sort of like the whole economy is like held back by their activity. And this is what's going to happen with these tariffs and these other, forms of protection, racketeering. And yeah, I mean, it's insane. And I agree with you, Rosalind, about the devotees. I mean, they're so bleary-eyed at this point. I mean, it's hard to imagine what turns them around, and especially when the base is largely, people who aren't going to be impacted as directly. Like, it's going to take them a while to see, right? Like, it's not the 401k crowd that's makes up the MAGA base.
They're going to be.
They're gonna feel it later.
All the agriculture.
Why are you talking over me right now? I'm almost done.
I'm responding.
Well, yeah, but I wasn't done, so it's hard to respond. So just I'm almost there. Feel free to respond after. Okay, so after, not during or before, but just after. It's not that hard. Like, we're going one by one. So anyway, so what I was saying is that they will feel it, but the part of the problem is it's going to take
Aaron
5
really
months,
doesn't
6
like
months
being
probably
interrupted.
until
Isn't
a
it
lot
funny?
of the
Very
impacts
delicate.
work their way through the economy, and it starts leading
It's
to
almost like
job cuts, unemployment,
He's
benefits cuts because of the way they're running the government, and then they're going to be mad at a point.
he doesn't
where
want his
so much of the
ability to
damage is
come up
already
with a
done and
thought,
very hard to
restricted or uninterrupted. And what is like the psychology behind? Oh yeah, it's definitely like pecking order kind of thing.
Did you want to say something, sir?
It's definitely pecking order type thing, right? I don't know.
I mean, what if y'all all wrong? And it actually works. Just saying.
Isn't this a communication game down here, Leo?
So, y'all remember I
Isn't
mentioned earlier
this
about the fight at DC
technically like
between two controllers?
some kind of
When I was working
Sudoku
overtime
puzzle or
last
something
night, I
that
talked
people
to
are
the
playing,
manager.
and everybody knows it, but nobody wants to admit it?
He's a guy who got us charged with
I'm
assault.
playing
He used
it.
to work
I
at
mean,
my airport.
This
He's
is
a
my
gentle
attempt at
soul,
like playing this puzzle
but
game, which
it's
is like to
maggot. I'm
me
pretty sure it's a
far out
maggot.
that I do what I do.
Said something fucked up
But I
about
wish
this
other
man's
people
child on
did
the
what I
job,
do
but
and like created their
he just
own
broke
YouTube,
down and just
Instagram network
went
of
off on this
Clownhouse,
dude.
and then
He got charged with
went into
assault.
rooms and
'Cause
said this room is being
as a
recorded and
person
put
who
on YouTube right
understands
now,
the
so
first
everybody
Trump
is like
administration,
reintegrated
these people say
and
all types of shit.
reframed,
They get
and it like
emboldened,
upsets everybody, right?
and they can just
Can you go in that
crazy
room and just go in there and
out
say,
their mouth, and we black
Republicans
folks, we gotta protect
are
ourselves.
doing opposition
Like,
research in
protect
this
our
room,
jobs,
and
and
they
they
compare
know
it
it.
and say
You know what I'm saying?
some Republican is
Ice
doing
cream, put an ice
opposition
cream.
research and publishing all these rooms on YouTube. You're all warned. Just go in there and say that.
What?
Put it in the
What
chat.
happened? Somebody got the fighting at work? What?
Just people in the federal government
everything
throwing
okay?
punches.
Yes, man. I read the article in the Washington Post. So it was after
Mm.
after the accident, and tensions are high. Like, I've not had an accident in my airport. There was one before I started.
Oh yeah, airport
Mm.
fights.
It causes people, tensions are high when all that's going on.
Mm-hmm,
Tensions are
like I
high.
said, I've worked with a bunch of Trump supporters. These motherfuckers come out sideways to the face, man. Because they know. And Trump got rid of the EEOC. If somebody calls you the N-word to your face at the job, you can't do nothing about it.
Okay, so somebody called somebody that at work?
No, they said something derogatory about this man's daughter.
Mm.
And he, they both of them working an overnight shift, I think, having overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the two of them. Probably had some management there or whatever.
There'd be a bit of space in between, because it's like a no man's land, and we would have like you have your gate with your guards, and I have
we've
mine with
crossed
my
borders
guards.
before. We've crossed borders.
Right. So, but this is more of a situation where the only border is manned by the Israeli government, and they have the towers, and they have the guards, and
So Gaza could put up their own fence and towers, right? If they wanted to.
They could, but the point I was making was a bit more of a. That's why I said there's a bit little nuance. There's more to it. It's not simply the wall in.
Your brothers and sisters have different fathers. Right? It's not my fault that your father decided to fuck a stupid loose woman. That's not my fault.
Wow, Dr. James.
So then it was
Dr.
your
James
fault
is
for
always a
being
gentleman. What a gentleman, Dr. James. Dr. Benji, the game continues. who is the puppet master of the puppet master?
The question is, Doge, what are you going to do about it?
James,
What are you going to do about it?
Doge, you
You
don't
won't
like
do
shit, you
shit.
like your ass fucked. I'm sorry.
He's an atheist who smokes a pack of cigarettes a day. We know everything we need to know about Dr. James. Dr. James, Dr. James, is this your last attempt at entertaining an audience? Is this the best you can do to entertain us? This is so crude, Dr. James. This is so childish, Dr. James. This is so petty, Dr. James. Dr. James, this is so childish. This is so childish, Dr. James. Dr. James, please, Dr. James.
I don't give a fuck.
This is so childish of you, Dr.
You look
James.
like Beyonce and you still suck at it.
Dr. James, please, this is so childish. This isn't entertaining. It sounds terrible. You're hurting my ears, Dr. James. My ears. Ow! You're hurting my ears, Dr. James. Dr. James, you're hurting my ears. What are you trying to say, Dr. James? What is it you're trying to say?
Oh, I'm a Zionist, which means I'm white, but I'm pretending to be Jewish, so I can build a house on the bones of Palestinian children. Fuck Israel.
What did you say, Dr. James? It sounded so lovely. I couldn't hear what you said. Can you say it again and again? This is the song that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friends. Some people started singing it, not knowing what they're doing. And Dr. James kept singing the same song every day. Dr. James, just go away. You sound like a sick.
I'm still here. America's the fucking toilet of the world. Nobody in Europe wants to move to America. My country, we don't have potholes. Everybody has health insurance. We don't have millions of homeless people. We don't have the death penalty. We don't lock up children. America's a piece of shit country. I wouldn't want to go there. Why would I go to America? Why would I go to America? So my children can smoke crack and meth. We don't have a meth problem here. We don't have a crack problem here. Why would I go to America? Why would I go? Fucking, you want to take Greenland? Greenland doesn't want to go to America. You ask Canada. Canada doesn't like your ass. Mexico doesn't like your ass. Europe doesn't like your ass. The only people that like
your country, because your country sounds perfect.
Well, come to Europe and maybe get yourself a visa and find out.
All the motherfuckers got bad teeth.
Yeah, at least I got a dental plan. At least I've got a fucking health insurance.
Why would you have dental plan?
What have you got? What have you got? The only thing you've got are your fake boobs.
You know, Dr. James, one day I hope you can come to talk to.
I appreciate your donation to my Cash App.
Dr. James, one of these days you're gonna be able to come to America. You're gonna be able to come to Donald Trump's new tariff America, where we have reciprocation with Europe. I hope you come to Manhattan. I hope you go to Miami. I hope you go to Los Angeles. I hope you go to Houston. I hope you go to Seattle. I hope you go to Kansas City. I hope you take it all in and you enjoy our wonderful food and our incredible health care and our incredible security. You're going to love the new United States of America. Yesterday was our Liberation Day. Today is Liberation Day #1. Welcome to the show, Dr. James.
Much nicer than America. America's like all Americans are septic tank douche nozzles.
You couldn't even say that because you ain't got no cheese.
I fucking speak 5 languages. How about your black ass? You can't even speak English. English is not my first language, and yet I
Dr. James, that is your first racist warning. That was racist warning #1. You have been warned. Don't you dare insult our beautiful queens, Dr. James. Dr. James.
You're so stupid. This is a serious question. Why are you Americans so fucking stupid?
So what you should have said, why are you Americans? But your dumb ass.
That's what I said. Why are you Americans so fucking stupid? You believe that bullshit? No, Mexico's paying for the war. Mexico's not paying for a damn thing. And your tariffs are going to be paid by American consumers. You bitches, right? You bitches made it possible to pay more at the cash register.
I just want to let you know
you used to pay 2 months ago.
Bitch over here.
Are paid by consumers. You fucking two-legged cows.
Okay.
You've got internet, you've got Google, and you still fucking stupid. What's up with
Why
that?
you don't have no teeth and you like to get fucked in your ass?
Ooh, you know, Dr. James, my YouTube audience, somebody named Scotty DeGotti says, whoever supports this clown, I feel sorry for them. Just straight stupidity. And then he wrote, FDJT and the people that voted for him. Turtleneck looking goof. Take that hat off, Bubba.
Why are you ashamed to be black? Why are you ashamed to grow an afro? Why don't you grow an afro? Is it because you can't? Can't you grow an afro? So why do you need dead people's hair to try and think it makes you more beautiful? Why are you wearing dead people's hair? 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 Fuck you and your Brazilian wig. Fuck your Brazilian wig. Fuck your skin toners and skin lighteners.
Next. But why don't you have teeth?
You fucking chimpanzee. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Why don't you have a personality?
Because you ain't paid for it yet.
Look, you know what I mean? Look, I'm an old man. Straight up. I'm an old man, right? But when I was doing it, I was outside getting my groove on with you because of your toxic fucking personality. The only place that you can talk to men is on Clubhouse. Because real men don't look at you. And you know why they don't look at you? Because you're a fucking skank ratchet. You're a ratchet. You're a ratchet. You're a fucking ratchet. You're a fucking ratchet. That's how fucked up you are.
Are you projecting? Are you projecting again, Dr. James? Are you projecting? Sounds like projection.
Bitches still got nothing on me.
It sounds like projection.
Bitches still got nothing on me. I'm fucking owning you.
It sounds like a self roast to me. All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People talking about nothing, wasting all their time. This is Dr. Benji, our honored guest here at the Clown House Roast. Welcome, Dr. Benji. I'm sorry, Dr. James. Sorry, Dr. Benji, but you're included. Dr. James, why is it that you come to Clown House every single day to sit here and scream into your phone and raise your blood pressure? What's your best response, Dr. James?
No, you just upset. You know, when I come up to Clubhouse, and Honey can vouch for that, I do not fuck with people that don't fuck with me first.
That's why you don't have no friends.
Well, at least I've got women that I interested in. You got nothing. That's why you were fucking on Clubhouse, because no men look at you. No, I bet when you go on the dates, I bet the men say to you, please don't go. Don't go.
Yeah,
I bet you eat when you go to a restaurant, you eat your food with the same fork. Right?
and you suck
100%. 100%. And you suck on chicken bones like a wolver on steroids.
And you suck on chicken bone like you suck dick, right?
No, that's what you guys are. You black Americans are addicted to chicken. This has been an established fact.
This is low IQ bigotry, Dr. James. And in the new Trump America, this is the first day of liberation. Dr. James, this is the first day of American liberation, and we are celebrating our great president, Donald John Trump!
And vigorously skull-fucked by Vladimir Putin.
Are you projecting some type of homosexual murderous act?
To another man. When Trump stands next to Putin, he looks like a prison wife, fucking slumped like a little bitch. Come on now. Come on now. You got your American president owes money to Russian banks, and that doesn't bother you.
People in my
Fucking idiot.
Dr. James, people in my
Fucking
YouTube.
idiot.
Dr. James, please hold. Don't
I'm not a
release.
doctor. I've never claimed to be a doctor. You know why? Because I don't lie.
You're a straight shooter.
I'm not a doctor. I've never been a doctor. I've never claimed to be. I haven't even been to college.
Have you
So
ever
there's that.
have you ever conducted a forensic accounting and realized that you're getting screwed over?
How am I getting screwed over? I managed to retire at 55 years old. I own 3 properties which are fully paid off, and I don't have debt of any kind. So how am I getting screwed over? Each of my children will get a house, because that's why I worked, to provide for my kids. Give them the start that my father never gave me, because he died when I was a small boy.
What did you do
I
for
live my life good.
what did you do
I
for
can
your
go into the shops, and within reason, I can buy anything I like. If I want to go on holiday now, I can fuck off for 6-7 weeks. I can do that. I can pay for that.
Dr. James, but your blood pressure
So
right
tell me
now
how
is
much
so
I have
high.
that you don't have.
Why don't you go on
I have
vacation right now,
comprehensive
Dr.
health
James?
insurance.
Dr.
I
James,
have
go on a
comprehensive
vacation
health
now.
insurance.
I think you need to go to a sauna or like a hot tub and
Greenland
do some
doesn't want to
yoga
join you.
and take a
Panama doesn't want to
deep
join you.
breath. The
Mexico doesn't want to join
deepest
you.
breath of the day, Dr. James.
America
Continue to breathe, Dr. James.
Why is America
You're
not-
causing me to have a migraine, Dr. James.
Health insurance.
Dr. James, you're giving me a migraine. You're giving me a migraine. Dr. James, you're causing my brain to have an aneurysm. An aneurysm in my brain. The migraine pain is so intense. This migraine pain. I'm having an aneurysm in my brain, Dr. James. You're causing an aneurysm in my brain. Oh, thank you, Dr. James.
Haven't you got any, hey, dude, haven't you got any Palestinians to genocide?
Dr. James, you're causing an aneurysm and a migraine in my brain. It hurts.
Fuck you and fuck Israel.
It hurts my brain to hear
Fuck
you
you
speak,
and fuck
Dr.
Israel.
James.
Fuck
Oh,
Israel.
the pain.
Fuck about Israel.
I'm having an aneurysm and a migraine. I'm having an aneurysm and a migraine.
And yet I can still
You're
make
causing a
money.
migraine in my brain, Dr. James. Stop projecting onto me. This is painful.
And your mother shake like a California quake. I'll give them the best orgasm they've ever had.
California
No,
Quaker.
but you know that it's true. Because especially you white dudes, you got small dicks. This is an established fact. That's why white women like black men, because you guys lack of dickage.
Is this more projection, Dr. James?
And that's why to keep your wife, you have to lick pussy. That's how fucked up you guys are.
Is this more projection, Dr. James?
No, you tell me, Jaime. You tell me, Jaime. Or Menachem, you tell me. Tell me. Oh, I know who you are. You are Rabbi Shmuley. That's who you are. Yeah.
How did you know that this was Rabbi Shmuley Bateach? Who told you that this was Rabbi Shmuley? How did you know that it was me, your arch nemesis, Rabbi Shmuley, who lives in the internet shadows to fight the J-word haters like yourself? You're a Jew hater, Dr. James, and you're an anti-Semite, and you're a racist and a bigot, and you should be ashamed of yourself, Dr. James. Ashamed of yourself. Your children will be inheriting a house from an anti-Semite. Your health insurance provider takes a monthly premium from an anti-Semite. You are a J-word hating, psychotic, neurotic. Dr. James, you're causing everyone in this room to run away. You're causing everyone in this room to go to other rooms. Dr. James! Hello, Dr. James? Hello? Dr. James, I can't hear you. Hello, Dr. James, I can't hear what you're saying. You're in the Matrix. Hello, Dr. James, are you there?
If you stood in front of me, you would not talk to me like that.
Hello, Dr. James. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Hello?
You have to talk like that to me in person.
Hello, Dr. James, are you there? I'm gonna mute up. I can't hear you. I can't hear what you're saying. I'm gonna mute the phone. Thank you so much for the call. We appreciate you calling into the show. Thanks so much for coming, Dr. James.
Stop killing Palestinian babies.
Stop projecting, Dr. James. That's disgusting.
You're not killing Palestinian babies?
You're disgusting. You're projecting onto me.
I'm disgusting for calling out you for fucking killing babies, and you think it's worse than the act of killing babies.
I've never killed a baby, and I don't kill babies. That's disgusting. Stop. You were an abortionist, weren't you, Dr. James?
Yes. You know what should have happened? Your mother should have swallowed your ass, or at least taken it fucking in the ass.
You're so crude. What a horrible projection to think of your mother that way.
And if your mother swallowed you, preferably, if possible, without burping.
You're so crude to think of your own mother that way, to say that to some random person in a pepper mask with a Trump hat on in front of the American and Israeli flag, wearing the gauntlet of Thanos!
Fuck you and fuck Trump. How about that?
You, sir, I thought you Europeans were classier than this. You've got no class, Dr. James. You're a crude and disgusting European.
Yeah, Trump's got small hands, so that probably means he's got a small wiener as well.
You're a crude European. You got no class.
Okay, yeah, but my country doesn't, we don't impose the death penalty. How about yours?
You're a sick human being. You're wasting your life.
No one in my country dies. No one in my country dies because they can't afford
Chris,
the medical
this is like
care,
a prank call show.
and no one goes bankrupt because of medical bills. How about your country?
Dr. James, I don't know if you're aware of this, but you're actually on a prank call show here in America on
I don't
Netflix.
give a fuck. I shit on America.
You're our featured guest. This is called The Roast Show, where we roast people. And congratulations, you were our first roast of the day, Dr. James. Go ahead, give us your final 60-second speech. We need the final cut. Thanks, Dr. James.
Americans are fucking stupid. You dumbasses. You don't even have fucking health insurance. Look at your roads. More potholes than roads. Your infrastructure, even when you get to the airport, it fucking sucks. You know?
Are you done with the projection yet? That was the final cut.
Americans love America, but they don't love other Americans, because if they did love other Americans, all Americans would have affordable health insurance. Health insurance is a basic human right, not a privilege for the wealthy and the healthy. Fuck that.
Well, I hope your aneurysm surgery for your brain migraine dilemma. Chris, this is where it gets funny.
I'll show you on YouTube, and I'll come there live, and we can fuck with each other. How about that?
Yeah, we can go live right now.
You can dox me. I don't give a fuck. You can dox me.
When are you having... Hey, Dr. James, when are you performing... Chris, this is so funny. Dr. James, when are you performing the brain aneurysm surgery on your daughters? Hey, Dr. James, what time did you schedule your daughters for the brain surgery aneurysm?
You've never been on a plane. I bet you come from a shithole like Missouri or Oklahoma.
Dr. James, what's it like knowing that Donald Trump is the president of the United States of America, Dr. James?
I think the only state I would like to visit very, very briefly in America would probably be Colorado. That's the prettiest I've seen in America. But places like Florida, the Midwest...
It's all beautiful. What are you talking about?
Oklahoma, but the rest of the world calls it Metzlohoma.
Yeah, it's not funny. We already have that in the first cut.
I don't give a fuck if it's not funny.
The point is,
I don't
Dr.
care
James.
about you and your snowflake feelings. I don't give a fuck.
You think you have? Are you projecting snowflake feelings onto us? Do you suffer from dandruff? That's what we were. That's the whole point of this call, is to find out if you use Head and Shoulders.
I got my shit together. My children are grown. I put them in university.
That's good news.
I've got 3 homes, and each child will get a home. I have no debts.
Excuse me, Dr. James. Excuse me, Dr. James. This is Philip Morris calling. We're wondering how many packs of cigarettes you smoked in the past 20 years, which would be 6,000 plus days. If we total the number of cigarettes you had by each day, if on average you smoke 2.5 cigarettes a day, that would be the total number of cigarettes would be 13,565 cigarettes. Do you believe that statistically you've smoked over 13,000 cigarettes, Dr. James? Hello, Dr. James? Dr. James, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dr. James? I think we have a disconnect on the phone call. Hello, Dr. James? Hello, Dr. James. This is Doge calling. This is Doge calling from Philip Morris. We're trying to find out how many cigarettes have you smoked in your life, Dr. James? Hello, Dr. James? Dr. James, can you hear me? Hello, Dr. James. Dr. James, can you hear me? Dr. James, hello? The question was, do you think you've smoked over 13,000 cigarettes or less than 13,000 cigarettes? Hello, Dr. James. Dr. James?
The Second World War. You got your asses kicked in Korea. You got your asses kicked in Vietnam. You got your asses kicked in Syria. You got your asses kicked in Iraq. And you got your asses kicked in fucking Afghanistan by peasants riding donkeys.
Hello, Dr. James. This is Dr. Philip Morris calling from New York City on the Avenue of Americas. We're wondering here on this radio and podcast on Netflix if you've smoked over 13,000 cigarettes or less than 13,000 cigarettes. Can't you answer a question anymore, Dr. James?
Yeah, and you know what another thing we don't have in my country? We don't have school shootings. How about yours?
Dr. James, have you smoked over 13,000 cigarettes or less than 13,000 cigarettes? Dr. James, can't you just answer a simple question?
We take care of our children.
Our YouTube audience is saying this isn't funny anymore. Change the channel and leave.
How many school shootings have you had the last 10 years? How many kids have died during school shootings? And when it happens, oh, it's bad, blah, 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 blah. What actually changes? Nothing. Nothing changes. And then another school gets shut up. And then you cry like bitches. Oh,
Dr. James, we've got a fiscal crisis in this country. We don't have money to police and do security at high schools or junior highs. We've got a $40 trillion debt we've got to pay off. We don't have time for security.
Security anymore. These kids got to start lining up and doing push-ups every morning. What are you talking about? America has a great destiny in front of it. You're just an old man in Amsterdam who smoked over 13,000 cigarettes, and we're just calling from the Philip Morris Corporation to do a survey on your general health. Have you been to an oncologist recently, and have you used your Medicare, Medicaid health plan? That's all we're trying to call you about, Dr. James. I have to fill out a survey here. I get paid $17 an hour. I'm just trying to fill in some dots on a computer here. Have you smoked over or under 13,000 cigarettes in your life, Dr. James? Jesus, it's a simple query. We're just trying to do a survey here. I'm getting paid minimum wage. You're harassing me about all kinds. I never killed children. Jesus, you're projecting an awful lot onto me, Dr. James. That was a whole lot. I hope you got your dopamine up. I hope you created as much dopamine as you could create. That was a fantastic set. We have published this to over 7 YouTube accounts. We've put it on the X platform so Elon Musk can listen to it under his Adrian Dittman profile. And we're going to publish this to Reddit. You are the roast of the day. You win the award. We're buying you a full slab of ribs. You get a small cup of coleslaw and a small cup of beans. Do you want honey barbecue sauce or do you want regular barbecue sauce? Thank you, Dr. James. You win our Chipotle coupon of the day. Do you have Cash? Do you have Cash App? And can you send me $20? So I also I want to know, Dr. James, I know you have 3 houses. Do you have a closet that I can store some of my outfits and some ropes? Sorry, James, I'm just like making a joke about a prank call show, but anyways, this has been a really dynamic and fun session. I hope you've all enjoyed it. Over 3,000 people have watched the live stream of you screaming on Clubhouse, Dr. James. This will be one of the funniest videos I created the day. It may not be funny right now, but just wait. When people watch it in the future and they hear you screaming all these insane, delusional takes, it's going to be funny. So thank you for helping us reframe you. You are the oppositional research we've been looking for today, but we have to go to an anti-Zionist Jew hate room and listen to the opposition research there. And then we have to go to a Democrat room, Dr. James, and listen to all their delusional lies and do the oppositional research that's required there. Is there any final comments, Dr. James, you want to give our listeners here in the Doge Republican Clown House account? Because that was really a lot of fun, Dr. James. You're done? You're complete? You've produced enough dopamine? Well, then I'd just like to take this moment to encourage all of our listeners to take the deepest breath of the day. Hold it for 10 seconds, Dr. James. 10, not 11. 10, not 9. Oh, look, Shawnito's here. He's got the same haircut as Elon Musk. Isn't that cute? Love the haircut, Shawnito. Dr. James was just providing us with some high-quality entertainment contentment, and we finished it up with a nice woo-ha, meditation, basically. If everybody just wants to say, it doesn't have to be long. It can be very short, sweet, to the point. Just do it quick. Anybody want to volunteer an Om? Anyone like the word OHM? No. Everybody likes the word God. I agree.
Oh, you ran him out the room.
Dr. James left. Okay, that's a cut. We're creating a short. Here we go. Thanks, Dr. James. I love being with Dr. James. I hope nobody got an aneurysm or a migraine. We're testing whether we can cause aneurysms and migraines by using the word aneurysm and migraine. We're wondering if the word itself can transmit an aneurysm or a migraine.
Bobby, you're more than welcome to come up, sir. Please come up and speak to the brothers. My brother.
Dr. Barbie's a great critic. Let me take some screenshots of this chat. Yeah, I agree. Maybe it was stupid. But anyways, that's the take. 39 minutes. Only 4 likes. Yesterday was a big day. Liberation Day. Oh, no, today is technically the first day of liberation. Dr. Shawnito, how do you feel about the tariffs? Do you think it's reciprocal?
It seems like the debate ended. No one's speaking. You're more than welcome to say whatever you feel. Okay, cool. Just answer the question. Yeah, man, the debate will end one day for sure, man. Absolutely. I think it should end like immediately. You know, only one thing to put this thing to rest. That's God bringing it to an end. But for 2 years, we'll find out once we pass away to get this opportunity to know that there's an afterlife and if God exists. Because from my understanding, he's supposed to be the maker of the ultimate judge, right?
My name is Brandon Lucas. I'm a special agent with.
Yeah, the debate will end not with a winner, but when the noise dies. Only the listeners will know what was really said. The cameras are rolling.
The cameras are rolling.
So Free, what side are you stand on? I'm an atheist, man. I don't think God will ever be some revelation of a God or anything like that. The game begins. Yeah, let's have at it. Oh, no, I'm not in it. I'm just the observer watching you step inside. Like you just said, you made your choice. Hopefully you will win.
The question is, who is the puppet master of the puppet master?
Who asked that question?
Doge.
The puppet master of the puppet master. The one who wrote the play then vanished before the curtain rose. Who would ever know? The question isn't who is the puppet master of the puppet master. The question is, why are the puppets still being put on a string by the puppet master in the first place? Would I ever find out who put them in this situation? I don't know. The cameras are rolling. And Dodge, the cameras see that you've been a puppet and you've been exposed by the puppet master. The cameras are rolling.
The game never ends. The cameras will always be rolling for all infinity and eternity.
Yeah, your camera shows you going at it at Believers and Atheists. My camera shows you stepping in the game with the Believers and Atheists, while I sit back quiet and watching you all not know who put you out of there in the first place. The cameras are rolling.
The cameras are always rolling. They've always been rolling.
Northeast.
They're northeast. Okay, so they're closer to Brookhaven and Tucker and his ends.
Yeah, well, Tucker is where black people live. I don't live there, but
You don't live around the nigger, so
touching Johns Creek. Okay.
Johns Creek, where the hell is that? Let's see.
I might wipe this out another year or two.
Yes, hold it for as long as you can. That's what I was saying. Like, people keep talking about, what's coming, but the American people have the power right now. Because if you don't spend, then they can't win. That's the slogan right there. If you don't spend, they can't win. There you go.
This is a very wasteful society, and it's propped up by overconsumption. If people actually spent what they could afford, we'd probably.
I can hear you.
What value that you're talking about?
Thank you. I've granted you amnesty on multiple occasions on my station.
Amnesty for what?
Right? for your behavior.
Welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People talking about nothing, wasting all the time because they're bored or creating content or got nothing better to do. But welcome back to the roast.
That was, I think, Hurricane Otis's room.
Y'all found a Yeti out the woods. Look at you! You gotta grow up one day. You gotta actually get a job and actually make money. You homeless, bro? You can. You're on the Obama phone right now. Obama phone? No, I have the iPhone. I know that you got your Cricket Wireless and you're having trouble making that fucking payment because you can't even talk on your. Nigga, you stole that. Listen to your mic. You stole that shit from the other homeless dude you used to have sex with. You have fucking. Listen, Cracker, I got it. Hey, you want to 10 up with me? I'm going your way. Go ahead. Go ahead. You act like you insult me. There's nothing you can say because I'm the man you could ever be. There's a reason why I don't attract. The reason is you're a fucking pervert. That's the reason you gotta live out the woods. And I get you cannot join society because you're too fucking disgusting, man. You don't have it. You don't. Red, you can't join civilization because you're a fucking disgusting savage. Motherfucker that's got yellow around. You like to hump trees at night. You like to run around the woods butt naked. You look like and you like to have porcupines. That's it. You're just getting teabagged too much. That's why. That's why, Brad. You are a disgrace to the white.
We received involving a potential threat of violence against you. So give me a call back when you get a chance. 816-346-1603. Once again, Brandon Lucas would take a 816-346-1603. Thank you.
Ooh, I'm getting calls from federal agents telling me that there are threats of violence against me. It looks like things are going well. So let's go back to Clown House. Here we go.
Here, nigga, shut up. It's still better than trying to have sex with fucking grown men at gas station. You're the one giving all the deer all of these diseases.
I'm pretty sure having sex with men is less weird than having sex with deer, Brad. Like, come on. I know you like fucking goats, but...
You Canadian retard?
Yeah.
And again, you suck, Brad. You suck bear nuts. Not even close to being funny, dude.
I'm not even talking to you, Brad. I'd love to know.
Hey, you want to know how uneducated lefties are?
Welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People talking about nothing on Clown House, wasting all their time because they got nothing better to do. So it's just a bunch of birds chirping. It's like a pecking order of stupidity. You're all live on Clown House, over 3,000 people.
Okay, let's not divert. Hold on, sugar belly. Let's address the points. No, let's not get diverted by billionaire. Let's not get diverted by billionaire.
I waited.
You're diverting to billionaire. I asked specific questions.
I'm trying to answer your question, so like you need to let me answer your question. Okay?
Okay. You said rich, not billionaire, not you said rich. Okay, let's
This room's called Nigerian Men Scooping Up Ugandan Women. Who's next? Sugar Belly.
Some people would rather go for their pain for the drug dealer instead of the pharmacist. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
So it's not really different what you're saying. Anybody that gets into some
This is called
heavy pain, they want to
Are We Moors,
whether it be
Israelites,
pills or
American Indians, or Africans?
whatever the fuck they think is gonna get rid of that pain. Even
So
heroin.
if you have a heavy pain, if you in heavy pain, what would be the problem?
Besides, just called the non-believers.
Going to the urgent care clinic and having the right your script.
I think you missing the point, bro. You missing
the whole fucking point like a dickhead. Like you want to be a square.
There is no point. You're talking silly.
Bro, hey, chill out, man. Chill out with all that. We just having a conversation, bro. Like,
that fake Hebrew Israelite nigga from Detroit, I forgot.
Welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People talking about nothing, wasting all their time every day on Clown House. It's unbelievable. They're so bored and lonely.
Right back down there to the goop. You brought your bitch ass up in here. Motherfuckers wondering like this ain't no motherfucking, this ain't a battle of information. Like, nigga, we just sharing information. You ain't gotta agree with it. Go look this shit up.
But you dealing with folks who rather argue from a
peanut butter porter is the one that it's long route peanut butter porter.
That's another one. It's got stripped of bird shit and then financial banking products.
Hello, moderators. I'd like to address the title of the room and let you all know that this reciprocation tariff is the best news for we, the people of America, that has ever happened. Donald Trump has set the precedent for countless generations so that we can have equilibrium and balance and sound moral financial currency in this country. I believe that gold is going to make a big comeback and that our dollar is going to be tied to gold and we're going to pay down the debt. Business is going to come rushing in. Japan, China, India, even Russia are going to invest trillions of dollars. Wealth creation will become incredible. You think the bubble's big now. Just wait till we flood it with outside currency. Just wait till people from all around the world give us $5 million so they can pay us income taxes. We're going to bait and switch them too. Trust me. We are going to make so much money. This is the first day of liberty. This is the first day of liberty. The revolution is now. Donald Trump is our MAGA orange king and Elon Musk is his wizard. Oh, they kicked me. That was the Bitcoin room. I'm only on the stage because I was in the room last night. So literally like 12 hours later, I was still on the stage.
The message, right, is to avoid this. You're gonna bow to Christ, whether he has to break your kneecaps. It's just
you do so lovingly. You'll use
no, it's
that
this
doesn't hurt so much, or the pain won't be felt. You won't be able to walk for a month.
Yeah, it's not this idea that you will bow. It's just that like you will because God is that amazing that He'll win everyone over to Him. That like.
За то, что у них есть возможность в этой стране, за то, что у них есть возможность в этой стране учиться, работать, получать деньги,
учиться налоги нам, да.
получать здравоохранение, не знаю, и так далее, в разных странах.
Ну, у нас не так,
да.
да.
Именно,
Но, в общем, да.
ну, неважно, ну, типа, ну, как, это, блядь, все универсально абсолютно.
Госустройство, полиция, армия.
Да, есть кто тебе дает безопасность, есть кто заботится газом, там, пожарные, блядь,
Пожарные наши волонтеры.
Само государственное устройство, да, государство, бюрократов и так далее. Да, ты выбрал эту страну, ты приехал туда, хотя у тебя есть свобода выбора страны. Ты можешь выбрать любую страну, но ты приехал туда. Почему? Потому что у тебя есть определенный уровень дохода, определенный уровень жизни, определенный уровень налогов. Тебя все устраивает. Да, если ты сказал, я остаюсь в этой стране, меня это устраивает. То же самое и здесь получается, когда у тебя есть большой рынок, этот рынок поделен, а нахождение самой американской продукции на этом рынке нет, по разным сложившимся обстоятельствам.
I don't think you should delete it. I think it's a really valuable source of oppositional talking points because basically they give you the compression of what the mainstream media puts out. So, and plus their own form and spin. I mean, it's like raw audio. It's interesting in the sense that AI could never create this, but from like a recording perspective, you're capturing live audio of people's, like when you hear that guy James, Dr. James in Amsterdam, very unique speech, right? Nobody like him on Clown House. So to capture somebody like that, you know, technically I would love to just do the cartoonification of everybody on this app, like the craziest speakers, and just turn them into cartoons. That would be like the ultimate quick reframe to make them, to transmute them from garbage to gold, or at least, you know, absolutely make it more valuable. That's the goal. But yeah, my YouTube live stream, damn, it's not hitting today, but yesterday I had like over 10,000 views, which was big, but it would be nice if like that was a consistent thing. And there's apparent, you know, I don't know how it works. I don't know how the algorithm gets, you know, starts displaying you. If it's, you know, what I'm saying is, I think if they basically cut your algorithm, it's maybe intentional, where like I don't know, who knows how many people work at Google that look at live streams and like assign priority or placement, or if it's totally organic and programmatic. I just don't believe it. But if you could have consistent growth, it would be the basis of an actual, you know, online political movement. Unfortunately, you have to pay apparently to play, and there's no other rooms on Clown House that are all that interesting.
Use your time wisely and do that. I said 100%. And make it be positive while you're on here, that you could hopefully change a little bit. You're not going to change the way they think, but you can, to the people that are listening, they can be like, that makes so much sense.
Adrian, we haven't heard from you. You're in the room just recording, or are you going to give us your point of view?
What was that?
Is this low IQ people speaking shit on Clubhouse? Low IQ dumb people, or is this high IQ dumb people?
I mean, I could read some poetry and bump the IQ of the room up. Is that what you're asking for?
If you had anything, if you wanted to add to the conversation.
Yeah, I can add to the conversation.
Topically.
Just don't troll, bro, because
topically, add to the topic.
Well, I don't have children, but I know people that, I mean, I can see it from my parents' perspective. You know, the point is, love is the secret. And if you're willing to sacrifice your children as martyrs for a political movement or a military movement or whatever your strategy is, you're wrong. I mean, that's not logical. And Shahada videos and all the programming that has been going on with all the Palestinians for 20, 30 years has all been murder, suicide, mayhem, chaos, death, and destruction. They are brainwashed people who have done this to themselves. Their media is disastrous. There's no it's fascism. It's a fascism land. It's an Islamic fascism land, and unfortunately, their communication has to change. And I don't know if you looked at the news, but Bibi and 2 new cavalry brigades are moving in. I mean, I can post the link, but this is a cataclysmic, climactic, event that's happening, and hopefully the resolution will be soon, and the hostages will be freed.
100% agreed.
Say hello to Rebbe, Sean, and Masri. Welcome to the room. When you entered, but come on up if you want to add to the conversation.
We'd love to hear from you.
Okay, Masri.
Hi, Yaakov, Katie, how are you doing?
Welcome to the stage. Can you please talk on the subject? And nobody's going to interrupt you. Usually it's a minute to a minute and a half, 90 seconds, and the stage is yours.
Okay, according to the question, you mean, do you love your children more than you love your dad? Of course. But, to be honest,
sentiment though, throughout all.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm not an extremist, okay? But at the same time, running after death is not a good thing to me. So people who think that suicide operations they do as a shahada, no, that's not shahada, that's suicide. But yes, it's true, because God himself said in the same Quran that people believe in, according to people who believe in shahada. And I believe in shahada, of course, but not every death is shahada. I don't go to death and say I'm a shaheed or a shahada. No, because God himself said no self knows where it's going to die, how it's going to die, when it's going to die. So how if someone makes a suicide operation, he chooses when to die, how to die, where to die, then what is shahada in that? That's not a shahada. So people who do operations, the suicide operations, and say it's a shahada, it's absolutely not. But
Dr. Sasha.
If this comes to me unwillingly and I have no other choice but fighting,
I know you
then I have no other choice.
Let's go get a steak and have
At that time, if I die as a shaheed, because I die, I defend myself, I defend my land, I defend my family, I defend a soul. That is a shahada. Other than that, it is not.
So if you're given a warning, even if it's 1 minute, will you run to protect your family, or will you stay and fight with your family?
I tell you something here. Prophet Muhammad, someone came to him, peace be upon him, and told him, please, Prophet, I want to fight with you so I can have this shahada in case I die. He told him, do you have a family? Do you have a mother? Yes. Then he said, go, she deserves your assist more than coming with us. So in that case, my family is more worth to go and protect them.
Is that in the Quran or is it a hadith?
No, this is a hadith.
Okay.
And the hadith or the sunnah is a completion of the Quran.
But it's just as legally binding, right?
Legally binding? I don't understand that.
It's like a law. You should follow that. You should.
Yes, of course. Anything that comes in the Quran is first place, and the Sunnah which completes the Quran second place, and of course I must follow it. It's the mother.
Is there anything in the Quran that says you should preserve life at all costs?
Give me an example.
We have the Hebrew term "kuaf nefesh," which is to save a life. Like you could violate every law of Shabbos. You could drive on Shabbos. You could do whatever it takes to get someone to a hospital to help them out. Like, do you have that concept? I'm assuming you do.
You mean saving someone's life?
Yes, it's paramount to say, regardless of breaking every law in the Quran to save someone's life.
Of course, saving someone's life, there's in the Quran itself, God said that who kills a soul unfair as he killed every human being, and who survives a soul in fear or injustice as he survived all human beings. That's in the Quran.
Thank you.
Thanks. Sounds reasonable, I believe.
So does everybody here just believe in stopping wars, you know, through peace and harmony and joy?
No, war is war. I've never seen a peaceful war, have you?
No. I'm just saying, if we were to theorize on how to create peace, you know, how would we do that?
I think that's what Israel's doing right now, right? To try to get rid of the terrorists, get back the hostages, is because they want peace. And I think that's all they ever wanted, was just peace.
Yeah, returning the hostages would be a good step forward towards creating goodwill for possible peace. It's a great idea. That's a theory.
I didn't even come up with that by myself either.
Welcome back to another episode of Low IQ Dumb People talking about nothing, wasting all their time. Dr. Sasha, is there something you'd like to say, Dr. Sasha?
Hostages back? Pardon? Can you please reframe that? Reframe that question.
Do you really think that what Israel is doing nowadays will really bring the hostages back?
I think they're doing two things. I think they're trying to remain, to have security in Israel, while trying to accomplish getting back the hostages. So I think they're trying to secure its borders, secure its country, protect its civilians. Remember, it's not just Jews that live inside Israel. There's Muslims, Christians, Druze. There's a bunch of different faiths and religions and creeds and walks of all in Israel. They're protecting them. They're not saying, hey, we're only protecting the Jews. The Muslims.
What's the actual number? Do you know? Is it like 1.2 million? How many non-Jews live in Israel?
20% of 10 million, about 2 million.
No, it's actually 28%.
No,
72% is of Jews, and I would maybe.
So millions of people.
I'm ChatGPT this. Yeah, I looked at this a few months ago.
But Mastery, so what do you think? Like that Israel should tell the Muslims and Christians to stay on one side and then let the missiles hit them, or do you think Israel's doing a great job at protecting its civilians while trying to get back the hostages that are in Gaza? Do you think that's okay that Gaza's holding hostages and leading them to starvation, mistreating them, never mind the raping, the burning people alive, the way that the atrocities that you can't even, like, Steven Spielberg doesn't even make movies that are that bad.
Well, baby, I'm sorry, but it seems as that there is mixing here. I don't know if you agree with me or not.
Are you denying that people got murdered the way that they did on October 7th, and that this is a retaliatory action from Israel? Like, put it like this. Let me ask you then, because I think you're going to have a problem answering it. So, in your home, there's no power in the city, and you have a beautiful family, and they come first. Like you said, preserve life. Life is number one. And there's a group of thugs, and fortunately for you, you have firearms in your home to protect your family. There's no power. There's nobody you can call for help. And people are starting to, you can see with your flashlight, or see their flashlights in the distance coming closer to your house. And they start, shooting or throwing fire bombs. And they get a hold of, God forbid this never ever happens. I hope, with all of God's help, you always live a peaceful life. But this never ever happens. This is just a hypothetical. But they get closer to your house, and they end up hitting a family member of yours, that somebody you love. And
it's like, I think everything is like a prank show. The more serious you try to make.
Remember, now you need to preserve life.
The conversation, the more of like.
And then now you're
a prank
shooting
show
back at them, because if you don't shoot, because you have a bunch of firearms, right, that now are going to be used as weapons, right? Because firearms are firearms, but weapons are used for violence, right? So you're going to be using these now firearms, turn them into weapons to protect your family. Are you the bad guy now because you've killed a couple of the people that were trying to kill your family?
As I responded to your, sorry.
I always like to correct myself when I'm wrong. I don't know where I got that from, because it used to stick in my head. It was 80%, 74% of Israel's Jews, 21% are Arab, and 5% are others. So, excuse me, baby.
No problem. But yeah, so would you protect your family at all costs? And now, are you the bad guy because you killed? Say you got lucky, and there's like 50 people out there. There's only 8 of you in the house, right? And they got 1, or maybe they're about to get 2. But you now killed like 10 of them. Are you now the bad guy? Because you killed 10 people that tried to kill your family, and they successfully hurt 2 people, hypothetically. Are you the bad guy, or are you doing good to protect your family? I'm just curious what your thought would be on that.
Objectively, as I responded to your question, objectively, I'm not a bad guy when I protect my family.
Perfect.
But, yes, but at the same time, baby, you mentioned so many things, and so many things are mixed to each other.
Well, I tried to make it really simple as possible. I was going to ask you some facets to it, like say they took, and I don't want to use a human. Say you have an animal. They took an animal, right? A dog that you love. He's part of your family. You love him. You know. Oh no.
And
where's Throb? He gets
some of them are running away. Some of them
as well. It's a tough decision to go to instincts.
That dog is a soul as well.
100%. That's what. But I don't want to ever depict and say your children because you know what I mean. I don't want to do that, right? But they took a soul.
Does he just kick it out? They took a soul from your house, in the chat.
And they're walking away with this soul on the back of a bicycle, and they're leaving.
Chris, what
happens? And you're trying to get, like, would you fight at all costs to try and get that soul back?
Yep, thanks.
But I totally understand.
Keep up the good work, bro.
I believe that I agree with you. But if
you got any other, you know,
if someone
technically we need a snitch line on this
I should attack back.
Same way that Cosmos has a snitch line. We need our own snitch line.
From the abusers.
God, you know what? I'm gonna use one of my Google telephone numbers and create a room called Clubhouse Snitch Line and text this number.
And when someone protects himself, family here, as Israel is trying to protect himself, as you say, but do you expect that the other people will stay still? Well, at the same time, here they have the right to defend themselves as well. Then why you call them as a terrorist?
So, if you have a problem, so I think we're going somewhere positive. Hold on. Mastery, I think we're doing something positive here. So you agree that you have a right to protect yourself, and then you also believe that but then you believe that they have a right to protect themselves as well, right? So
absolutely, but I don't see that protection. What I see here is not protection. What I see here is mass punishment against so many people. Just because I have a problem with Hamas, then I fight everyone who speaks the same language, who lives in the same area. Does that mean that all people in Gaza are Hamas? Of course not. I totally agree with you. We have a common ground here. Every country has the right to defend itself. But if I defend myself against the attacker, then that's the right. But if I involve some innocent people, that's the wrong thing here.
So now that attacker now runs into a city with that soul that he took from your house, and that attacker's with now 15 people, and he's running, and you got a clear shot, but you're using a shotgun. So you're not going to be able to just hit him because it's a shotgun. It's going to be a spread. So you're going to end up, you could save that soul from getting further into the dungeon, right? By shooting.
That's not a clear shot.
Exactly. So you don't take the shot and you let that soul evaporate.
Okay, Billy, let's have example on the ground here. When the pager thing happened, it was very smart operation, by the way. But of course, I feel pity for the people who are involved as children. But if you get Hassan Nasrallah, just Hassan Nasrallah, okay, fine. This is Hassan Nasrallah and people who are around him as the protector and the offender, like him. But what about the other people? What about the neighbors? No, you call yourself the most professional army in the world. Where's professionalism in that? When you get some innocent people are involved, that's my problem. There is no personality here. If I have a problem with Hamas, then I go and attack Hamas.
You know, haven't you heard the expression, nothing's fair in love and war? I mean, you're complaining.
What do you mean?
Haven't you played chess? It's a chess game. It's to the end.
But it's a chess game.
Why don't Hamas wear uniform, Masri?
But that doesn't mean that okay, Yoav, it's a very good question. But at the same time, you wanted to convince
embed themselves in the population, right?
It doesn't play like that. Because at the same time, they're how can I say, recording every person in Gaza is in the system which is open to the Israeli authorities. So Israel is going to be very professional and very accurate by knowing all the people who belong to Hamas and can get them. And if it is not 100%, at least it's going to be 95% accuracy.
Where do you get 95 in a war? Where? And this is a war where people wear uniform.
The 95% is very clear. The army, the Israeli army has satellites, has intelligence, has full assistance from the most developed countries, UK and USA. So it means that they are more steps forward than Hamas.
No, that's an irrelevant argument.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
You are wrong, because you can't have 95% accuracy when they embed themselves in schools, in mosques, in hospitals. They do it deliberately so their people will get hurt. They don't care about their own people. They want casualties.
So, yeah, if you find a member of Hamas in a hospital, you will destroy the whole hospital for just one or two members?
When we did destroy a whole hospital?
I'm asking you a direct question. It is yes or no. If you find members, limited number of members of Hamas in a hospital.
I'll answer for him. If they're shooting missiles from the hospital, I'm sorry, the hospital's got to go.
Yeah, I agree. I will destroy all the hospital. I will destroy all the hospital.
Fine.
You know, so they will learn. Next time, the civilians won't be inside the hospital. Or the Hamas won't be inside the hospital because they are not safe there. So we actually saving the future people.
You want them to learn a lesson here that you are
exactly.
Okay, and at the same time you say that they don't care about their people, then what is the learning about that?
Well, they don't really care about their people if they're shooting missiles from hospitals, and there's plenty of footage that shows it.
Well, I totally disagree. I'm sorry.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that I destroy a whole city or a whole building was involved with innocent people just for limited numbers of people whom I am attacking. I'm sorry. I disagree. Because at the same time, they are going to do the same.
Of course you don't disagree. Of course.
And of course, if you give yourself the right, I'm sorry, if you give yourself the right to do something against people, so they have the same right to do it against you.
The people in Israel, they attacked were not no soldiers were inside the villages or in the party.
They were at a concert and they were in their kibbutz. They weren't in a hospital.
Exactly. So what happened?
Supposed to be $1.
Please don't give yourself the right to do something in the name of defense. And when
You can send me $1 if you want. I think. Let me see what my cash app is.
We're the artillery. I will destroy the whole area.
Well, destroying the whole area is a good option. Because at the same time, they have the right to defend themselves here.
But Master, are you from Egypt?
Yes, Justine.
Yeah. Okay, so your country wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's John Z.
So I don't know why you were defending
Send me $1.
Hamas because
versus a militia, like that's
right. And I think that they're bound to international. They're not because it's like comparing a gang, right?
Reminds me, I gotta get the fuck off his app.
They're very similar to native indigenous people. They have their own land that they govern, Hamas, right? And they have their own self-governance, right? But what happens is they're not bound to the laws of international rules of law. Like, Master, the country you're from, Egypt, could never do that. It could never do what Hamas is doing. So you shouldn't, defend them because I know your country would not do something like that.
Defend them, Justine. Where did I defend them? I'm talking about civilians. I'm talking about innocent people.
I support exactly the Palestinian people. 100%, right? But we're talking about Hamas. That's what the conversation is about because Egypt. There is.
No, I'm saying
no.
in this room, like, I don't think those people are differentiating. They're just,
Well, they should
everyone
be.
has Hamas.
No, we just did. If Hamas goes into a hospital and fires missiles, do they care about their people knowing that they're going to jeopardize the hospital? That's the real question. No, that's the question. Do you care about your people if you're going to be firing missiles from a hospital?
What?
Do you care about your people, your civilians, so-called civilians, if you're firing missiles from a hospital?
From hospital meaning what?
Why didn't that time maybe I would give amount of time?
If you fire
Maybe I would
missiles
give
from a
amount of
hospital.
time to people to evacuate the hospital and then I hit it. But I cannot hit it with.
And the Hamas will
They took over a hospital for like 4 weeks, and then they cleared it, and then they went in later and put explosives everywhere in the hospital and blew it up after they used it as a base for 3 weeks. What threat is there if you've already cleared this hospital?
They would return. Because they're going to return.
Exactly. To return, they already took it over. They cleared it. They took out.
And then they left, like you said. You said they left. So if they leave, we already know rats are going to find a hole. That's the hole.
You guys are the rats, but you found the hole and you covered them up.
Right. Well, that's.
Oh, I know who this is.
Maybe.
Mikhail.
Yeah. The guy just surrendered the army.
I'm sorry.
Lower.
Sorry, guys.
John always wants to derail conversations. I can find it comical. Go ahead.
Bibi, I need to ask you the same question, but with a different way.
Go ahead.
So, you say that destroying a hospital because the rocks are launched from there is a fair thing to you. Fine. But
rockets.
Okay, rockets launch whatever it is. But after all, it is destroyed. So after destroying all the hospitals there, so the people in Gaza will no place to get cured, and destroying all the schools. So people in Gaza will not have a place to educate, and destroying all the corridors in and out to Gaza. So no in and out for any assistance, humanitarian assistance to people in Gaza. So don't you think that it is, how can I say it in English? I mean that you're doing it in purpose, or the Israeli authorities are doing it in purpose. Starvation.
I can answer this one. And it's great.
Please.
How many? But I need to ask 2 questions. What's the population in Gaza?
Over 2.5 million.
Perfect. 2.5 million. That's your number. Okay. How many are Hamas members?
Well, according to records, about some records say 30,000. Some people say 50.
Okay, so less than 100%. Like, so 2.5 million people can't say enough's enough. What the fuck are you doing? You're allowing us to die and take over 30,000 people?
They already did.
They just did.